Stupider Than Jupiter podcast.
What's up, y'all? This is Shalon Thomas doing another solo pod thing, another review style thing. I did one before on Mortal Kombat, and I wasn't, 100% on it because, it was a lot of me ranting and raving and without anybody to go back and forth with. I was like, is really people gonna really fuck with this? But, I'm like, it's my show. Do what I want. And one of my favorite shows just came back is Euphoria. And after watching episode 1, it kind of got me thinking about, bringing back doing solo review, podcast, rant, whatever the fuck I want to call this shit. Probably rants. Just like me ranting about the show, because that's basically what it's going to be. And I got notes because I'm a good student. So, I'm going to do episode 1 and 2 together because it's Friday and 2 episodes already came out. So I'm going to try to do both of them in, 1 episode. It's spoilers, obviously. The fuck? Why wouldn't I be spoiling shit? So let's get this shit started. So, like I said, episode 1 and 2, I'm going to kind of talk about every character and just keep the shit moving like that. So first and foremost is Fez. Fez is my nigga. He's the whitest nigga that I ever know. Love him to death. Best character in the show. Most relatable character to me, which I don't know what that says about me, but he just is. I wish him all the best. I hope he smashes Judd Apatow's daughter. I hope he, hope he doesn't watch Knocked Up while he's doing it, because that'd be kind of weird. But I wish him all the money and all the pussy that he can handle. We get a backstory to Fez with his grandma being like a crazed version, like if Dolly Parton's sister never got famous. It was like Dolly Parton's drug dealing sister. That's basically what she reminded me of. And I think I seen her in something else. I'm going to have to IMDb her. Hold on. Give me a moment, because I swear I know that lady from somewhere. You know what, fuck it, I ain't got time. But loved her, loved Fez's backstory. It made a lot of sense. Again, I don't know what it says about me for me to be like, relate to that, not that, relate to that though. It kind of sets up the confrontation between him and Nate, early on in the episode. So I kind of saw that coming. Still loved it, but, it was telegraphed like a motherfucker. So anybody who was like, oh my God, like, y'all clearly wasn't paying attention. But, like I said, I hope all the best in Fez's future. Speaking of Fez, I'm going to go ahead and go to Rue. And the scene in the car. Bruh. Why in the fuck was she there? Like, the whole time I'm like, bro, why? Why is Rue here? Why is Rue here? Why the fuck? She doesn't need to be here. There's no reason for her to be here. There's no story reason for her to be here. There's no logical reason for her to be here. Why the fuck is she here? Every time she opens her mouth, I'm like, bro, why are you here? You do not need to be here. Did you just sneak in the car? Did this nigga forget you? You were just passed out in the car and he was like, fuck it, I ain't got time for this shit. You just gonna ride with us? Like, why was she there? I know for drugs, but like, bro, why was she on the way to a drug deal? Shit made no sense to me. And honestly, I was never 100% on board with Rue because I've dealt with a lot of addicts in my life, still dealing with a couple in my life. And I don't know if you ever did. Addicts are very annoying. They're very annoying. They're very selfish. And unless you have like an abundance of patience and really just an abundance of patience, you really... Hold on, y'all. Damn cat out. Now watch his ass be scratching at my door like 2 seconds later. But yeah, I can't fuck with Rue, bro. I've dealt with too many addicts, too many motherfucking just lies and stealing your shit, and just the brain just does it. Just like you just ignore all logic as long as it gets to the drug that you need. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to deal with. And just from the me already dealing with addicts in my personal life, and then watching an addict despite how young and semi-attractive she is, I can't. Especially after, last season with her, struggling to get, and you know what? I'll put a pause on that because, no, fuck that. So, again, I already was on 50-50 with Rue because I'm like, yeah, you're an addict. There's reasons why you get panic attacks. And of course, there's a reason why you do the drugs. But again, you treated all your friends like pieces of shit, and you kind of lobbed on to Jules in this super unhealthy way and kind of like put all of your eggs in one basket. And when that basket tipped over, you went right back to being on drugs and almost died again. But the thing that kind of pisses me off even more is that, like, in half of the last season, you were sober because Jules was like, yo, I got enough shit to deal with in my life. I don't need to be friends with somebody who's trying to fucking kill themselves. I'm just not with it. And Jules was like, and Rue said, okay, I'm going to do my best to be sober. And she did somewhat. She tried the best way she could to be sober. And she was pretty sober for a good little minute. And she was chilling. But now that she and Rue are together, now that Rue and Jules are together, it seems like Rue was just like, well, fuck it. I'm going to still just do all the drugs I want to do. And then I'm like, wait, what? Shouldn't you, like, be good? Shouldn't you be, like, balanced? Like, why are you back to doing the drugs that you weren't doing in season 1 when you were fucking... And y'all weren't even in a couple yet. Y'all were just friends with quote-unquote benefits. With benefits pending. Y'all were friends with benefits pending. But now, all of a sudden, you just doing drugs just to do drugs? Like, what the fuck is going on? And then, you fucking wrote Dominic Fike into this shit. And I love Dominic Fike. Love his music. I love the nigga whoever he's fucking... I gotta remember his name. Whoever he's fucking playing in the show. I like his ass. Even though I see him as an allegory for drugs, I don't think his... And hopefully they go more into him as a character in the future, but I just see him as a representation of drugs. So it's kind of like, here's Rue fighting for the love of Jules, and then Elliot, remember his name, Elliot represents her love of drugs. Because from what I can remember and tell, that nobody really in Rue's friend group fucks with drugs the way that she does, except for Elliot. And I think that's her main attraction to him so far. And I think there's a couple of hints that will change, especially for Elliot. And we'll see, that bridge burn when it gets to that point. But at this point, I think Rue is just using him as not necessarily an excuse to do drugs, but just like, ooh, I found somebody to kind of, on some Thelma and Louise shit. Like, I got somebody to go into the mountain with me, into the cavern with me. So, hopefully, that kind of changes as time goes by. Because, like I said, I fucks with Dominic Fike, Elliot, in the show. Rue's mom is fine. Shit, her mom is fine. Like, damn. I hope old boy Ali, I gotta remember that nigga's real name. I think he gay in real life though, but I hope Ali get to smash Rue's mom. I don't think he will, because he a good nigga, and it'd be kind of weird as fuck to be smashing the mom of your sponsor. I feel like that is not ideal. I'm all over the place. Okay, Katherine. A nigga can't fuck. And he can't. Apparently he can't. They kind of skirt away from that, but it's kind of super. They kind of make it extremely obvious and then skirt away from it to be like, well, yeah, he's super sweet and he's super nice. She put cute and handsome on the same pros. I'm like, this is nothing. And I thought that would get to that point because they kind of skirt around their sex life, except for the part when Katherine is having the fantasy about the Dothraki nigga fucking the shit out of her. So I don't know why she was doing the pros and the cons go, is this nigga sex subpar? Because it's never brought up, which is weird. But, we'll see. We'll see how that happens. That's the least interesting aspect of this season to me so far. So, we'll see. McKay, a.k.a. young Kevin Hart with braids. He was in it for 2 seconds. I hope he fucking a black woman. I hope he gets some black women in the show. And this ain't no shot at Cassie. Cassie got beautiful titties. She got a decent ass for a white girl. Kudos to Cassie. I'll get to her in a second. But as far as McKay goes, I really want him delve more into his character. And I think I want more in depth into his role in college as far as him being a freshman, no longer a freshman now, on the football team. Because one of the things that kind of annoyed me and about season 1, about McKay, is that they kind of gave him, and again, I used to play football, so maybe again this might just be my, it kind of hit on this notion that McKay wasn't getting the proper shots, or he wasn't getting no play time, or he wasn't getting, I guess, the accolades and the respect that he assumed he would get just from being a good high school football player. But the thing that kind of got me was, one, you already got to see that McKay was the type of person growing up to kind of practice twice as hard, work twice as hard, was the type of, he was just above, his work ethic is what got him that scholarship. It's what got him that far. But I never saw that work ethic when he was in college. It was just, when he was supposed to be studying film, he's doodling on the paper. You don't see him training, doing 2-a-days, doing the working out before practice or studying or doing everything in his power to start. It just made it seem like, well, he did all this work. Oh, I'm going to this A1 college that's going to take me to the pros. But I'm like, you're not doing, that's not the end of the story. That's the beginning of the story. And again, hopefully I see more in-depth into that, and maybe, more into him trying to be the best, and maybe some of the racist shit. Because I feel like he go to, it's probably a stand-in for maybe Alabama State or Florida State, where it's a predominantly white, or maybe University of Georgia, where it's a high-ranking football school, but it's predominantly white, a high-ranking football school. And, dealing with the racism that they kind of touched on in the beginning of his, backstory thing. But, yeah, I want more from McKay, man, because I feel like he got the short end of the stick in season 1. Who we gonna hit? Cassie and fucking Nate. Okay. So, I have no idea why the fuck Cassie let that nigga fuck. It was going to happen, but it was just but, give Cassie, not no credit, but to give her a mulligan. She going through a lot. She just had an abortion. She just broke up with McKay. Apparently didn't even get this nigga a tried and true reason as to why they broke up. Then to turn around and fuck your best friend's ex is, again, the bisexual sociopath Nate Jacobs does not need to be really fucking anybody. And it really read, and I think this is on purpose, but it really read like Predator and Prey. This is whereas Maddie and Nathan were kind of butting heads, this is really Nathan, I don't know why I'm calling this nigga by his full name, Nate really being in control and kind of manipulating Cassie into what he wants. But I don't think he's doing it on purpose. I think he is. And another thing that kind of annoys me, the episode between 1 and 2 doesn't really do a good job as timing, so I don't know how much time passed between the fight and Nate going home. It had to be at least a couple weeks because, again, it's kind of hard to say. I think it's maybe a couple weeks. I would have to say a couple weeks at most. So I don't, but it makes it seem like, well, Nate has that whole thing about imagining a life with Cassie, getting her pregnant, starting a family, him hating his dad, and then basically dies and gets reborn as new Nate, which is basically the same Nate with a lot less people getting beat to death and then showering in their bathroom. But I don't know. As far as Nate really liking Cassie, he seems to care about her or be kind of can't stop feeling something for her. That was hinted in the, scene in the truck in the construction site when he basically breaks up with her, which is another weird thing because I feel like, one, why to drive all the way out there just to tell her that? Like, you literally, this fucking, but that's definitely for the show. But that kind of annoyed me. But another thing that annoyed me was Cassie goes, well, I think us fucking was a mistake. And Nate basically responds like, yo, don't put that in. Don't text that because that shit'll get back to us. But when he meets up with her and is like, yo, I really like you more than I thought I would. But I feel like if we was to actually do this, it would just cause more harm than good. And I think that we should chill out. She just fucking has a nervous breakdown. And I'm like, what the fuck, bitch? You just said that she ain't want to fuck this nigga. Why are you having a nervous breakdown right now? God damn, white women in peril. I swear to God. But, so of course they fuck again. And this nigga Nate saying fucking snide shit about, well, Maddie will try to kill me, but she'll definitely kill you. And I'm like, nigga, why would you? Now, how can you look Maddie in the eye? I'm like, this nigga, oh my God. It's like, it's like one step forward and then 30,000 steps back for this man. But, ain't no telling what's going to happen with that bullshit. Maddie is going to get a threesome. She is going to become the throuple in this married couple, or at least just start smashing the wife because the wife is bad. I have no idea who she is. She looked like a white woman in like a Law and Order show or one of them like NCIS shows. Somebody tell me who she is. I have no idea who she is, but apparently she was rubbing on Maddie like, I'm gonna eat that pussy, baby. And she probably will. So kudos to Maddie. She's gonna get a threesome. Apparently wants to get back with Nate for no reason other than that's just a nigga that I know. And I'm like, bruh, just fucking fuck with Big Meech. Oh, shout out to Big Meech. So just fuck Big Meech. I fuck with Big Meech. You should fuck with Big Meech. Everybody fucks with Big Meech. And yeah, I need more niggas in the show. No way, bro. I swear, it's like for this show, and I saw this shit on Too Flagrant when it was like, this is racism isn't even thing, and I'm like, yeah, because there's one nigga in the entire fucking show. I was like, because it's set in fucking the suburbs of LA. Like, how much racism you think is gonna fucking be portrayed in an environment like this? I'm like, of course it isn't. Like, nigga, you seen this one main character, one character that's black in the entire fucking show, but all of a sudden this racism isn't even an issue. I'm like, yeah, no shit, nigga. Jules. I think Jules is gonna definitely dump Rue. I think she's gonna find out, I wanna say very early on, that Rue's still doing drugs. I don't know if it will be towards the end of the season or maybe in the middle of the season. I'm leaning towards the middle, especially if you've seen the kind of Rue and Jules specials, pandemic specials that they released maybe like last year. But Jules' mom is an addict, and I think there's a lot of underlying trauma there that is going to rear its ugly head, especially when Jules finds out that Rue's still doing drugs even while they're together and before they were together. And then especially with her kind of distrust towards Elliot, which really isn't distrust towards him. It's really more of she knows Elliot does drugs, so she's trying to figure out, like, is this a Rue likes him, or is he gonna make her do drugs? Is she gonna put her on the wrong path again? Lo and behold. But I think it's going to be a lot of that. I think it's going to be a lot of Jules not really fucking with Elliot, not really knowing him. And I think that once she gets to know him, that shit is going to kind of, the truth is going to kind of rear its ugly head. And I don't think Rue's going to try to placate her or like calm her down as far as what type of person Elliot is. I think she's just going to ride that bitch till the wheels fall off, till that whole thing implodes in her face. And not in a good way. But I wonder how they're gonna have sex. But I'm not gonna answer. I'm not gonna go into that. As a cis heterosexual male, I'm not gonna touch that with a 30,000 foot pole. I honestly can't think of any other characters that I missed. If I missed anybody, let me know in the comments or in the thingy, because I think I hit everybody. But I do have some theories for episode 3. So I know a couple things that are definitely going to happen. One, Rue's going to start selling drugs. That's a terrible idea, but you know, I'm not writing the show, so I'll just be in for that motherfucking train wreck because it's coming. I think Cassie's going to have a super nervous breakdown, like a fucking, like she is on the wire and she's on the ledge and she's finna jump. Like swanton bomb dive off that bitch. But I don't think she's going to stop fucking Nate because, you know, Nate is super manipulative. And honestly, Cassie is not at the point emotionally and mentally where she feels 100% comfortable being by herself. And I think until that happens for real, I don't think that she's going to want to stop fucking Nate. Yeah, I just don't think it's going to happen. Well, maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say because, again, it seemed like that's what she wanted to do on the phone. But then when Nate was like, yo, we'll just hash it out in person, and he agrees with her, like, yo, we should stop, she just fucking breaks the fuck down. So, I don't know. But, you know, it's going to get more into that. Again, I still feel like Jules and Elliot are going to become friends. I think that Jules is really going to like start talking to Elliot, hanging out with Elliot, and realize, oh no, this dude is cool. Why am I tripping? Oh, I'm tripping because Rue ass is still fucking doing drugs. And that shit's going to come to a head. That's just my opinion. And I think Katherine's for sure going to cheat on Ethan. I don't know what swole nigga is going to come and be like, yo, I got a fat girl fetish. And just fuck the shit out of her. I don't know, but I think it's for sure gonna happen. Like they either gonna break up or a hood ass nigga gonna come and just fuck the goddamn contacts out of her ass. I don't think anything too crazy is gonna happen with Maddie next episode. I think that's still gonna just lay the breadcrumbs for her fucking the wife. Maybe fucking the husband because they kind of ignored, like they kind of pushed the husband to the side. I don't know if he's that nigga either. He didn't look familiar to me, but I think that's what's gonna happen. It's either gonna be more with her and the wife, or it's gonna be introducing the husband, and he might do the same thing, and then she might be like, he's trying to rope me into some polyamory shit. Last but certainly not least, I hope Fez bends Lex over his gas station counter while drinking a 40 and smoking a blunt. But honestly, I think that him and Lex are still going to talk. But I think that something is going to come to the head. as far as Fez being a drug dealer and Lex being a Jewish high school kid. And that shit's just gonna come to a head as far as, you know, she might love Fez, but not really fuck with him doing drugs. Sorry, y'all. Yeah. So I think that, Big Lip McGee, Big Lips, I think is going to, for sure, sorry, y'all. Yeah, I think Big Lips McGee is going to definitely try to fuck Fez because Fez is a nice guy. And he's probably the most stable person she's ever been around. Just because as soon as this nigga was like, yo, you want some of my sandwich? After being like, yo, don't fucking talk to Ashtray. Don't come in my room. Don't touch my grandma. Don't move my motherfucking trading cards. Don't touch my weed. Don't touch my liquor. Don't move my fucking blinds. You sit your ass right there. You go to sleep. You wake up. And you do this shit all over again. Do you want some of my sandwich? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, God. She is for sure going to try to fuck that man. But, so, we'll see. Excited for episode 3. This was cool. I like doing this. I think I'm going to keep doing this when I got time. I'm a busy man. I'm a busy man. But, that's all I got. It's kind of monotone as fuck. I had a lot more animated shit to say. But, you know. Guess I forgot. But, yeah. Like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe to the podcast. When it's just me and other people, it's probably a lot more exciting than what the fuck this shit is. But, yeah. It's Euphoria, baby. Hashtag Big Lips McGee.